In this video, I will be going over all of the basics from the play calling menu, from adjustments, from pre-snap adjustments, all of it. So follow along, let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna go over is the play calling menu. Now there's different ways you can call the plays. You can go to player and you can pick a player that you want to have like the best route in a play. So if I pick Mike Evans, every single route that's red in these plays, that is Mike Evans. So if I were to pick any single one of these plays, the red route will be the player that you picked. So you'll see Mike Evans has that go route. And then we have concept, and concept is pretty simple. It's pretty much whatever type of play that you want. So if you want a run play, you pick on run, and then it gives you different categories of runs. Counter plays, where the running back takes a step in the opposite direction, then receives the handoff in the direction that he's going. An outside run is a run to the outside. Inside zone is a run to the inside. And this is one way that you can call plays. We have option here, quick passing, medium passes, deep passes, play action passes, and screen passes. Then we have play type, and the key difference here is you'll see that there is less categories to choose from, and it's a lot more simple. Pass, run, option, RPO, special, that means special teams. So if you want a pass play, you click on pass, and it gives you these different pass plays, shotgun passes, standard passes, quick passes. And it's not the best way to go about picking plays, nor is this personnel. Personnel, it tells you how many receivers you have, how many tight ends, and how many running backs. So if you're looking for a formation with 3 wide receivers, you can look, and wide receiver is the third position, and right here, 3 wide receivers. If you're looking for a formation with 0 wide receivers, you'll see that these 2 formations have 0 wide receivers. So that might be something you want to choose. The main way that you should be picking plays is by formation. If you were to watch any of the elite Madden players, they're all picking plays from formation. Once you're able to like a playbook and love a playbook and play with it a lot, you'll know exactly what play you're looking for and what formation it's in. Now, a cool part about this play calling menu is that you can actually pick plays as your favorites. So if you double tap the play, so like say I like the slot to Buck, I would double tap it and you'll see a heart pops up, and then it will show up in your favorites. So if you only run about 5 to 6 plays in a game, maybe you can like those 6 plays, save yourself some time, go to favorites, and all 6 plays will be laid out in the favorites category. Now there are also some icons on the bottom. Now when you're in a formation, or when you're about to pick a formation, you can press Y or triangle to go to substitutions. And substitutions is subbing out players for certain positions. So say I want to put the backup quarterback in, why not? I would press A on Baker Mayfield, and then all of your QBs will show up, including the kickers and punters. All of your QBs, or everyone in the QB in the depth chart, will show up, and then you can put, I don't know, Kyle Trask in a QB. You can do this for the running back. All of your running backs will be here from your depth chart, and you can pick whatever one you want subbed in. I would definitely get familiar with substitutions because they do come in handy when you need certain players in certain spots. And then we have packages, and this is something that is definitely underutilized. I need to start utilizing it more, especially on the defensive end, but you'll see that you could, instead of using substitutions, you could flick right or left on the right stick, then you can put in your backup QB, your backup halfback, then you can put in your power halfback, your third down halfback, your fullback at halfback, your fullback at the wing position. So that's pretty cool. A tight end swap, so you'd be switching tight ends. Tight end in the slot, which the tight end in the slot would be the inside wide receiver, so the tight end would be now the inside wide receiver. Wide receiver swap, which makes the wide receivers flip sides. So if Mike Evans is on the right side, he's now on the left side. So there's a lot of different packages for different formations. And then the next icon is coaching adjustments, and the way you get to that is clicking down on the right stick, and you will see all of these options. The first option I want to go over is ball carrier. Every time you start a game, you should go to coaching adjustments, and you should click conservative for ball carrier. This will prevent, or at least decrease, the chances of fumbling. Fumbling is still, kind of happens a lot in Madden 24, and putting conservative on will prevent it and most likely mean that you won't fumble as much. Then we have blocking. I would leave blocking on balanced, because if you put it on aggressive, they will commit holding penalties and it's not the best. Conservative, there's no reason to put on conservative. Holding penalties don't happen very often, if at all, in Madden, so leaving this on balance is probably the right way to go. Deep pass catching and intermediate pass catching. Now you can put this on aggressive. Aggressive just means that the wide receivers will most likely go up for an aggressive catch. That means that there will be an increased chance of the ball being knocked out, like you'll see right there on the screen. And the same thing for deep pass catching. You probably want to put this on just balanced. Not many people really change this. You can test it out if you want, but normally it's on balanced for me. Now, when you're in a formation, one thing you can do is flip the play, and all you have to do with that is press RT. You'll see I'm pressing RT, and the play flips. So if you want, let's say, this run to go to the left, well, you can press RT, and now it's to the left. Something else you can do when you're in a formation is press LT. LT will bring up the audibles. The audibles are plays that you can switch to pre-snap. So say I don't want pivot return, I would click on pivot return and I would pick another play to take its space. Say I want inside zone. Now, when I pick a play in this formation, let's just say, whatever defense, doesn't really matter. Now I want to choose a different play. I go to audibles and now I am in inside zone because I just picked that play and that is in my audibles. Now that is everything in the play calling menu. Let's go over the adjustments in the pre-snap. So the first thing I want to go over is that when you hold RT and then the right stick up, you can see the defenses or the opponent's abilities on their players, which could come in handy so you know what type of abilities they have and what you can do to stay away from those kind of things. Then if you go down with the right stick, you can see your team's abilities. Clicking just the left stick, you will just get your play art on the field. Now for audibles, all you have to do is press X. Now the audibles show up on the bottom right of the screen, and you can go down or up with the D-pad to choose your plays or pick the button that it represents. So say I want inside zone, I would just press X. Now you could also change formations based on your personnel. So what you can do is go right or left with the D-pad. So if I go right on the D-pad, I go to a different formation, and if I keep going, I go to all these different formations. What else can you do? You can also flip your play. So I would press X and then RT, and that flips the play to the other side. The next thing that you can do is also reset a play. So if I go to, let's say, smash hammer, and then I want to go to the play that I originally picked, you can press X and then you can press LT to reset your play to the original play that you picked, which could come in handy. So that's how you can audible to different plays, and that's everything in the audibles menu. Now, how do you change routes? Well, all you have to do is press Y or triangle. And let's say I want to put, the B receiver on a different route. I would press B, and now I get these options on the bottom right. Let's say I want to put him on a zig, and you can see that it says RS to the right for zig, so I move RS to the right, and now he's on a zig. Something to notice though is that every wide receiver in different positions will have different routes that you can change to. So tight ends will have a different route. For him, instead of a zig with RS to the right, it's block release to the flat. He also has a streak, an out, an in, and a curl. Running backs, on the other hand, if you go right on the right stick, will swing to the right. To the left, he'll swing to the left, like you see here. He also has a wheel route, which is a very good route in Madden 24. Something else you can do with a tight end, if they are on the line like they are right now or close to the line, you'll be able to put them in a blocking assignment to help blocking. And the way you do that is press Y and then A, because his icon is A, and then you press RT. So you can utilize other players to block. You can also block the running back. So I would go to RB, and then I would press RT, and now you have two other players blocking to help you block a blitz, or just, maybe you just want extra blockers for the play that you're running. There's also another way you can add an extra blocker. We're going to talk about motioning receivers. The way you can motion receivers is to change players, and the way you change players is pressing B. But a better way of switching players is moving the left stick towards the player that you want to choose. So say I want this receiver on the right side, and I start at the QB, I press B and move the left stick to the right, and it goes right to that receiver. Now you'll see that this player can't be motioned because he doesn't have any arrows to the right or left of him. But you'll see that if I go to Chris Godwin, there's an arrow pointing to the right. That means that he can be motioned to the right. And the way you motion him is right on the D-pad. So you'll see, I click right on the D-pad and now he gets motioned to the other side. Now let's say you want to block Chris Godwin. Well, you can motion him and snap the ball in between the line, and now he counts as an extra blocker. So you'll have more time in the pocket. So those are 3 ways you can add extra blockers to your play. Now let's say that you want to change the pass protection. You want to slide them to the right, you want to slide them to the left, you want to max protect. Well, you can press LB, and then pass protection shows up on the bottom right of your screen. And 4 icons show up: max protect, slide right, slide left, and double team. Slide right is moving the right stick to the right, slide left is moving the right stick to the left, and then max protect up, double team is down. Now if you slide them to the right, that just means that the right side of the right side of the O line will be sliding to the right side. If you slide them to the left side, including the center, will be sliding to the left side. If you max protect, everybody that is eligible to block will be put on a blocking assignment. So if you don't want to waste time and just put the adjustments, individually on to block, you can just press LB and then max protect, and then everybody is going to block who is eligible. Then you can also double team players. You can double team D tackles, you could double team anyone on the D line. When I double team, it's usually because I'm running an inside play and I want to make sure I can get rid of a really good D tackle. So I might double team like the D tackle here, and just to make sure that he's out of the play, I would double team him and maybe I would ID the mic. And what ID the mic is, that's when you press LB and you press A like you see here. IDing the mic just simply means that you're telling the offense, the people who are blocking, to block that player. So something I might do in a run play is double team this D tackle, then ID this player because he's in the direction that I want to run. Like if I were to run this inside zone. So that is something that you can definitely do. You can also use IDing the mic for blocking a blitz. The most common way to block a blitz, let me go do a pass play real quick, is to slide the protection the opposite side of the running back. So in this case, it would be to the right side. And then IDing the mic, which is the edge rusher, on the side of the running back. That is one of the most common ways to block a blitz, and it does pretty well, but you want to make sure that the running back is in a blocking assignment. Let's say you slid the protection to the right, all this ID stuff. What if you want to reset it? All you gotta do is press LB and then press LT to reset, and then everything is back to what it originally was. Now let's get into some gameplay. The first thing I want to show you guys is how to throw the ball away. When you snap the ball and you feel like you need to throw the ball away, all you gotta do is press R3 and you will throw the ball out of bounds, but you wanna make sure that you're out of the pocket. If you're not out of the pocket, then that will be a penalty and a 15-yard penalty for intentional grounding. So make sure you run out of the pocket to throw the ball away. Now let's say that you're in the pocket and you can't get out of the pocket and you're about to get sacked, but you don't want to be strip sacked. You can press RT, LT, R3, and L3 to just drop down like this. Not a lot of people do that, but it could come in handy if you're facing like a Von Miller or a Micah Parsons, some very good defensive pass rushers where you are afraid of a strip sack. So once again, I go here, I press RT, LT, and L3, and then he goes straight down. So again, I don't even know if I said that right. RT, LT, R3, and L3. There you go. Now something that not a lot of players do is pump faking. You can pump fake by double tapping the receiver icon. So I double tapped A there. I double tapped A again, and you'll see that the quarterback does a little pump fake, and it shows that you're about to pass it to that player, but he doesn't actually throw the ball. Now let's say that you want to run a play action play. Well, now let's say that your opponent is bringing a blitz and you want to cancel the play action. Well, there's a way you can cancel a play action pass. The way you do that is double tapping RT. So right here, I double tap RT and the play action is canceled. Now I have time to throw the ball, and that actually is used a lot because, pass rushes could be pretty good, and if you're facing a good pass rush, you want to be able to set up in that pocket and make a quick throw. Something that not a lot of people do because it does cause a lot of false starts is pressing RB for a fake snap, a fake cadence. So if I press RB, it's almost like you're about to snap the ball, and it does not work. I don't even know if it's ever worked for anybody, but just so you know, that is there. It's also worth noting after every single play, you are able to see what your opponent picked on defense. That can help you analyze and think about what you want to call next. So be sure that after every play, you look at what the defense was calling, because generally, a lot of Madden players run the same exact defense. Now, what else can you do pre-snap to see what the defense is in? You can motion players. Now, if you motion a player and he follows you, that means that they're most likely in a man defense. If you motion a player and that player actually stays, that means that it's most likely a zone defense. The reason being is that in a man defense, that guy who's guarding a certain man needs to follow him everywhere he goes. In a zone defense, you have no assigned man, you're assigned a spot on the field, so they gotta stay where they are pre-snap. Now, if you want to waste time, you can double tap R3 in the play calling menu. You'll see that it will go to chew clock, and that will chew as much clock as possible. You can also play fast pace by double tapping it for no huddle. You can also no huddle by pressing Y. Now, once I run, I'll go down, and now I will hold Y, and now I will be going fast pace, and there will be a no huddle. You can also spike the ball. So I'm gonna call play here, whatever, I get a first down. Let's say that I want to stop the clock. I can hold B, and now I spike the ball and the time stops. Now, if you see that in this formation that the light blue icons are yellow or red, that means that your players are tired. If they're tired, you can either play with them, you could substitute them out, or you can call a timeout, and that will actually reset their energy, maybe not to 100%, but it will be better from what they were before. Now, there's also 3 different ways you can pass the ball. You can do a bullet pass, a touch pass, or a lob pass. A lob pass is just tapping the button. So I'll just tap A, and that is a lob pass. It's higher in the air. A bullet pass is when you hold the icon. So if I'm gonna throw it to A and I want a bullet pass, I hold the ball. That time I held it for an unusually amount of time, and I don't know why, but I'm gonna do that again. So I hold it, and that is a bullet pass. And then we have a touch pass, and a touch pass is right smack in the middle of a bullet pass and a lob pass. So you don't want to hold it for too long, but you don't want to just press the button. Kind of just right smack in the middle. So I'm going to throw it to A here, right smack in the middle. A horrible throw by good old Baker, but you'll see that is a touch pass. Now we have freeform passing. And if you want to turn on freeform passing, you go to settings, you go to options, then settings, then you go to game options, and then passing mechanics is right here. And you will go to placement and accuracy. And then you can just copy my settings if you want. I do think for beginners, this is definitely the place to go. And even like, it's not even like, I use probably the max I've ever went to is 9. But because Madden 24 is a little bit different, I've been practicing at 7. Now, how do you use freeform accuracy? With freeform, you can actually guide the circle outside of that shaded circle, or the reticle outside of that shaded circle. And the way you activate that is to hold LT while you throw. So I'm gonna try it here, and I'm going to hold LT, and then I'm gonna hold to the left, and you saw that the freeform reticle was outside of the shaded circle. You can do this for a go route as well. So let's say, you want a lob pass to Mike, you'll see that that reticle is outside of the shaded circle and leads Mike Evans more. Now, if you want to throw a high ball, which kind of got nerfed in this year's game, it was very good in Madden 23, but the way you do it is hold L1. Holding L1 on a deep ball could still be pretty well. A horrible pass by Baker, but that's all right. But that is a high ball for you. That was very high. Let's do it again and a little bit better. So I'm holding L1, I throw the ball, and it is a high ball. You can jump for it and go get it. That's pretty good to use if you want to throw a ball over a defender's head. So now let's go over Playmaker. Playmaker is used with R3 when you scramble. Say I'm scrambling and RB is the closest receiver to me, so when I press R3 down, he's going to come running closer to me. You can also move him to the left, up, or right. So that is a great way to utilize Playmaker when you're in a scrambling situation and you want him to go, let's say, to the left, and you move R3 to the left, and he runs to the left, and that could be a great way to defeat any defense in a scrambling situation. Now there's also 3 different ways you can catch the ball. The first way I want to go over is possession catch. Possession catch is A. So when you press when you throw it to a receiver and you press A, he will go right down. That is a possession catch. This is used when you do not want someone to knock the ball out or you need to brace for a big hit. So let's say that I put Mike Evans on a slant, or actually let's just put him on a go, and I press Y, I click on and hold A, he's gonna go straight down. And now we're gonna go over rack catch, run after catch. This makes the receiver continue to run after he catches the ball. So I'm gonna throw it to Mike Evans here, I'm gonna click on and press X, and he's gonna continue to run. And then we have aggressive catch, which is Y. This is when you want someone to jump for the ball or come back to the ball. Just like that, I pressed Y and Mike Evans jumped for the ball. So a great way to utilize aggressive catching is when you want to come back to the ball as well. So let's say, I run another slant with Mike Evans and I want to come back to the ball before the user picks it up. Something you can do is click on and then come back to the ball and he will aggressive catch the ball. And that is just a great way to prevent picks. And something to mention is that when I say click on, I mean that I'm clicking on to the receiver. And the way I do that is pressing B right when I throw the ball. And that's how you can change your player to the wide receiver. And also, here's a bonus tip for making adjustments. Let's say that you want a dig and you don't have any plays that have a dig in your audibles. That's fine, because then you can put Y on a in route, right? And then you're going to go to Y again, and you're gonna utilize smart routing. So you'll see that RB means smart route, and when you press RB, that will change into a dig route. So what RB does is make routes longer or shorter depending on where the first down is. If the first down is 15 yards away, this route will turn into a 15-yard in. Same thing for an out route. I smart route the out route, and now it turns into a longer out route. You can do this with corners and posts as well. If you want a shorter post or a longer post, you can utilize smart routing. Now I want to go over juke moves. My favorite juke move is using just quick changes of pace. So let's say I'm running, and I just stop and go to the left. I stop and go to the right. That messes up a lot of people trying to tackle one-on-one because everybody goes for hit sticks, and that will just make them fly around. And then we have hurdling. And the way you can hurdle is holding LT and then Y. That makes him jump higher. If you just press Y, he kind of just does this horse gallop. So you want to hold LT and then jump. I'm going to show you this again. This is Y without holding LT, and this is Y holding LT. It's much higher. Then we have the spin move, which is B. The best way you can utilize a spin move is by holding RT, and then right when you want a spin move, you release RT. So I'm gonna make a spin move at the 10-yard line, and as soon as I get to the 10, I stop holding RT and then press B. That just maximizes the spin and makes the spin go a lot faster to make people miss. And then we have the regular jukes, which is with R3. You can use R3 to the right or the left. You'll see that he does this little sidestep. When you go to the right, he sidesteps to the right, and a slide step to the left is when you move R3 to the left. Now that is the basic offensive tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more Madden content. See you next video.